Boruto Tubu Vortex Chapter 35 has officially flooded the streets, and I think this is actually probably, bear with me now, chat. Maybe this chapter is giving the vibes I think Boruto as a story has been missing. A lot of exposition, a lot of dialogue, and multiple things going down at once. Now, Boruto overall as a story, just real quickly, is a history of introducing a whole lot of amazing plot points, right? But then mostly shoving those to the side and dealing with like one or two major points that are ultimately intertwined and interconnected before resolving it and then just moving on to the next. It's kind of like a linear thing, whereas multiple things are going down at the same time, and ultimately the stories diverge and connect how they connect, but certain things occur that just prevent other things from happening. Now, I say that in a sense to say we got things going down. Boruto's ready to make his next move on the Shinju, and in the midst of all of this, we got this nigga Kawaki and Amato operating on straight BS, straight up kidnapping Kashim Koji. Somebody called the authorities. Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 35. Like I said, it's probably giving off that vibe or feeling that exposition dump that you really, I ain't gonna say you missed in the Boruto story, but man, oh man, this is one of those things that you just know. It's like these type of moments consistently wise just propels the story and Boruto overall as IP into a whole nother different category, a whole nother level. So overall, I truly enjoy TBV chapter 35. Now, around the start of the Mamushi arc, if y'all been paying attention to my takes on the podcast, shout out Clyde Ninja Podcast. But I did say, you know what? I've been saying 10 out of 10s for so long. Damn near since TBV started. I'm going to start defaulting all of my chapter ratings, except for a select few, being in the Mangekyo Sharingan chapter, of course, and chapter 4. Those are my two favorite chapters. And then if you want to throw in the third, Himawari versus Jura. Except for those three, everything in this story right now is a 9 out of 10. Because at this point, if it's continuously getting the same thing that I believe is the same rating every chapter, and I'm saying is gas, I rock with it, it might just have to be 9 out of 10s because there's certain chapters I like more than others. So those ones have to be the 10 out of 10s. All that to say, yes, this might right now is still defaulting at a 9 out of 10. I want to see a couple more translations, especially due to the Sarada and Boruto conversation. So by the time you guys are watching this video, I will have a better understanding. But for the most part, I feel safe and comfortable enough, even with what I know now. Just saying simply, it's a 9 out of 10. It's an amazing, a lovely chapter. It's a lovely shot. My nigga Boruto out here shooting his shot now, right? You know what I'm saying? So I saw two different translations when it comes to this particular part for Boruto and Sarada's conversation. You know, just on the little side and funful and playful side of things, right? Sarada brings up one of the first ideas Sarada brings up is basically this is first time in a long time, excluding the very first time they saw each other, shock and just, you know what I'm saying, all of these emotions probably fluttering at once. But one of the first times she gets to settle down, calm down, actually talk to this guy Boruto. And she brings up one thing that's been laying on her heart. Bro, your eye, gang, I'm the reason why. And I never really got to apologize. Bars. And Boruto's like, I ain't even gonna lie, yo. I ain't even thinking about it. I ain't had time to be thinking about it. And finally, Ikimoto is giving us a piece of that personality, pause, that we've been missing in this guy Boruto. Keep on the stoic, keep on the aura farming, keep on the toughness, you know what I'm saying? But I still like to see, pause, that smile, my guy Boruto. I still like to see your thoughts, how you ramble inside of your head, how you decide to go about the next dialogue in fun and playful conversations. And he's like, you know what? It kind of looks cool though. You know, I ain't gonna lie. I saw the translation where he's asking Sarada, does he look handsome? I saw another translation where he's basically complimenting Sarada's eyes as a counter. You know, either way, it's one of those light and flirty type of tidbits you have in conversations, and Sarada blushes at him. So they get into the real nitty and gritty of the conversation. All the fan service aside, yes, Boruto did a little slight flirtation with Sarada, but Sarada needs to allow this guy Code to kidnap her. Now, when we got the official leak, everybody's like, who's pulling up on Sarada? Who can it be? And I'm like, it shouldn't be Boruto, but it's gonna be Boruto. And that's part of the reason I didn't even drop a video on it, because I wanted to so bad, but at the same time, I'm like, we can talk about it being a potential enemy, we can talk about it being potential conflicts, but long story short, it might just be this guy Boruto, and long behold, it was Boruto. He's signaling Sarada to pick up the kunai. I'm flying riding your ass somewhere. I'm gonna fly to the place, and Sarada's like, well, you got some handy abilities, you know what I'm saying? Just let me just get that out the way, Boruto, right? So Boruto's like, Code is gonna target you, but you need to let him capture you. And Sarada automatically goes along with this, you know what I'm saying? Because she now is under the belief that this is a decoy mission. Obviously, the consensus is it's a decoy mission, but she's under the belief that once she gets to wherever she believes or Boruto believes Code will take her, at that moment, Boruto will be able to fly and Raijin there due to the pen that he just handed over Sarada and get into the vicinity and handle what they need to handle. The only thing is, if Boruto is planning to fly and ride into the dimension in the hopes that Code is bringing Sarada to Jura, or the hopes that Code is bringing Sarada to Hidari. Now, based off of whatever Kaja Koji may have told Boruto, we'll have to wait unless we get it via flashback, because like I said, simultaneously, this nigga Amato's out here kidnapping niggas, and Kawaki is being his accomplice, right? So all of this is going down, and it's like Boruto doesn't even understand in real time. His plan just got a hiccup before it even started. This nigga Kaja Koji is about to be MIA, so they're gonna have to wiggle their way around it, unless this guy Amato is just about to pull some dickheadness, and just next chapter we see, oh, he wakes up Kasha Koji and he just strikes a deal with him, right? It could very much be that, but for the time being, it's a huge inconvenience to have Kasha Koji exposed and outside of the hideout as he is now. But this guy Boruto's plan is ultimately to do that. So once he flying Raijins wherever he needs to fly in Raijin, hopefully in his brain, him and Sarada can possibly take down Hidari. I don't want to believe Boruto is planning to just fly in Raijin to this nigga Jura and try to run that shit back again. Hey, I'm all for it, but at the same time, Boruto, like, he just whipped your ass last week, bro. Like, come on, like, we gotta stay in the gym a little. I know you've been throwing up shots, but let's stay in the gym just a little bit longer before we press Jura. Hidari is a whole nother thing. And speaking of the two, they start discussing this guy Bug's death, and actually Jura has some good insights, because, you know, Bug was also that Shinju that said a couple of times throughout his run in TBV, the Shinju as a species are superior, you know what I'm saying, humans are inferior, and at the very least, Otsutsuki should be only thing worth their time in terms of hunting, and as a result of that, he wants Ada's special DNA, her powers, you know, the Sharingan, all of this, that, and the third. And Jura's like, you know, this guy lived his life, as short as it was, as a very strong advocate, you know what I'm saying? Say it loud, I'm a Shinju and I'm proud. Basically, Mamushi was one of those. It was like, if she ain't Shinju, you know what I'm saying, she's Endu, you feel me? Because he ain't rocking with anything that's not of his species. And Jura is basically like, Hidari, he lived his life in a way that I can't help but deny. It was intriguing at one point to me, but it was very animalistic. And we get the sense of, not the sense, the straight up confirmation why Jura hasn't been retrieving sword throws. Because even Hidari's like, bro, we could have gotten Ryu and Matsuri's. Honestly, I could have gotten them if I wanted, but we didn't. Yet you spent all that time to retrieving me. And Jura's like, low key gang, imagining a world without you might just make me lonely. And there we get like a lot of fun dialogue, but also it's a lot of hidden conversations underneath the dialogue, which is why I truly, truly enjoy this chapter. And the more I'm talking, I might just up this bitch by the end of this review to a 10 out of 10 instead of a 9 out of 10. But this guy Jura's like, yeah, bro, he's damn near giving off the impression as if he's trying to impress Hidari. Like, he's trying to stay on Hidari's good side. Like, whether this nigga Sasuke is evil or good, his aura farming will be unmatched no matter what room or vicinity he's in. So this nigga Hidari's like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, you creepy, but you my type of creepy, right? Pause. I'm here with you and I'm gonna stick with you at the end of the day. So Jura's like, yeah, man, this guy Mamushi lived his life. He died a horny bastard. You know, he died how he lived. And long story short, it was animalistic and deplorable almost to a degree, but Jura felt no need or urge to go out there and actually try to help this guy Mamushi. And we're seeing them unfold and unreveal their emotions in real time. And also, after this guy Hidari learned the word ick, it turns out he's been spending the last 4 months staring at cats. So this nigga's looking at picture cats, and this nigga Jura is perplexed. It's perplexed almost as me when I'm like, what is he reading? And when I saw Jura's reaction, I'm like, he must be reading something crazy. And this nigga's looking at cats. and he's asking Jura if he thinks they're cute, right? So all of that to say, like, yeah, it's a whole lot going down, and Boruto may have a lot on his hands because he's trying to infiltrate a couple of niggas that's worried about their life as a species and whether the cats are cute or not. Like, it's crazy. It's actually crazy out here. Now, in the middle of all of this life or death, we already talked about it. This guy, Koji, done got kidnapped. Now, he's breaking down the plan. Toads, by the way, chat, toads everywhere. You get a toad, you get a toad. She get a toad, he get a toad. Hell, my great auntie getting a toad. Everybody getting toads, right? So Amado's debuting toads. Kashin Koji has toads attaching to Inoja's neck. Amado got toads attaching to Kawaki's neck. Pause. Don't ask me what's going on with the adults and toads in this village, but that's just what it is right now, right? So we got toads. Inoja's talking to toads. He's out here talking to Koji, and Koji's like 24/7. You know what? Y'all saw that That's So Raven episode, like when she was like, damn near, I need you to be by my side 25/8. 25 hours of the day, 8 days of the week. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So basically, Inoja needs to keep the toad on her and be able to be ready at the drop of a dime to connect Koji with other people via mind transmission. And then we see Amado pop up, and Inoja's confused because he's like, you never pop outside, gang. What are you doing outside, gang? And we all know now he had Kawaki shrunken inside of the tube, inside of the scroll, in order to get the backdoor on this guy, Kashin Koji. Now, we talked about a lot of what Amado should be doing when it comes to Kawaki's power, his stabilizer. Now, I seen the Tekken screen, and I feel like we need to talk about that separately. This guy, Kawaki's literally operating on sliding, 2K sliding boards. This nigga got a 2K character build, and he can up his VC to whatever, you know what I'm saying, bar he wants to put it to. He wants to put 60 to attack, he gonna put 60 to attack, and he gonna put that other 40 on defense, or he might just up the whole entire bar and shebang. But now, Amado is showing his slickness by basically revealing to Kawaki, though, he's the only one in charge of that sliding scale. Basically, Amado has to be the one in order to dictate how much power output Kawaki would be able to use at any given moment via the toad that he can shrink with Sukuna Hikona and keep on him at all times. Now, after all of these revelations, we find out that they both co-conspire in order to get the drop on Koji after Amado tricks this guy Inoja in order to get the scroll to Koji. And Koji is trying to play it safe. He wants to wait until his next update before he makes any moves, but we see how the chapter ends off. And even Kawaki's like, nigga, what you just had me help you do? Like, yeah, we just shot the man. What do you mean we? You feel me? So Kawaki's like, bro, you got a code for everything. Like, even for this guy, Kashin Koji. And Amado's like, look, just bring him back to the lab and let's get gritty. So how do y'all ultimately think the story is going to go? Because like I said, bro, this guy Boruto is out here plotting and planning with Sarada. And I believe, at the very least, it's going off of the information he has from Koji, but I believe Koji being available, you know what I'm saying, especially via mind transmission jutsu, especially being on his own accord, like whatever Amado could possibly do to him, brainwash him, trick him, or basically end up controlling him, Koji is gonna have to be available to Boruto prior to Boruto going on this mission, unless it's a mission that Boruto came up on his own, which I highly doubt because we understand what Koji already told Boruto. Code prior moves, whether to basically get killed by Boruto, kidnap Sarada, or at the very least join Boruto's side and cause. So it looks like Boruto was able to come up with a contingency and take advantage of the fact that Koji has no updates. So now they're operating in a free territory, in possible dangerous territory, but also free territory in order to change everything to their likeliness without relying so much as to things that were already foresaw by this guy, Kashin Koji. So let me know how y'all feel about it. Like I said, things are going down, but also hiccups are occurring like without other characters knowing. A lot of dramatic irony. Boruto just made this big grandiose plan, but right behind his back, Kawaki and Amado have their own grandiose plan going down. At the same time, this guy Kashin Koji, you know what I'm saying, he might be allowing everything to happen as it's happening, or, you know what I'm saying, it might just be this guy Amado. One of the two, either Amado or Kashin Koji, we about to see next chapter, is gonna pop up as like a major G. One of these niggas is playing the other, and whoever is playing the other, like, kudos to you, because I ain't gonna lie, this whole entire plan that get Koji out the hideout was very brilliant by Amado, but let's see how Koji responds. Let's see how he counters. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Boruto 2 Vortex Chapter 35 was straight up fire. Stay tuned, because this guy, Kawaki, has some 2K slider builds. Sarada is about to mentally prep herself to be touched by this guy Code. Pause. And then Boruto has a lot on his plate, because no more authoritative figure, at the very least for right now. And Sasuke, of course, he's triified, and this guy Koji just got kidnapped. So how y'all feel about it? It's your boy Black Chat 3. Long face, skinny body. It's an amazing story. I think I might keep that in the edit. Holla at your bum, holla at y'all. Black Chat out. Yes, sir. Ski.